What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. My name is Matt. This is Patriot Comics, and I am on my way to 2 local outdoor collectible shows. The best thing is they're within like a 10-minute drive from each other. They're 2 separate events held by 2 different local vintage and antique and collectible stores that are local in my area down in Mays Landing, New Jersey. The first one is Farpoint Toys. They're having their show. And then also the Shoreline Vintage and Antique is having their outdoor show. And basically, it's just a giant flea market full of vintage toys, comic books, collectibles. I mean, anything you think of in the world of pop culture and collectibles, they probably have it here. And I go every year, and I'm really excited. So let's take a look at the event, and then we'll come home and I'll show you anything that I bought today. Let's go.
Well, we're going to, they got the new Epic Universe that's down in Florida. Oh, okay. Lost 463 Corvettes. I took you out of the 63 vet business. I mean, that looks like so clean, or like so, like I feel that off. So bizarre. It's so basic. Maybe we could do like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course.
There you go.
Daredevil's dispersed in here. Actually, I'm positive I have Daredevils here. Does anybody look for Daredevils? I absolutely have Daredevils in here. Check it out. I just apologize if it's not in order, but I absolutely have Daredevils. And I think I might have some Frank Miller Daredevils in here. Yep. Oh, right there. Got it? It's in the 50. I appreciate you. I'm not a complete. I like what I like now. I got Kiss records, so yeah, I don't. My OCD is a very strict right? So in my mind, I compartmentalize. Like when I got that other collection, and I ended up I kept 250 or 300 books I kept. It's like, all right, now I got to go to my collection. Oh yeah. So a lot of that stuff I pulled out are in here now. So what a great experience though. You guys I see you around. No, you guys be good, huh? Good to see you. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
All right, so let's get into today's haul. I have a pretty decent stack of comics here. Everything I'm about to show you, I paid $1 or less for, except for these first 2 books. First one here is Marvel Spotlight, issue number 9. This is a run that I'm really trying to collect, especially the Ghost Rider books. Of course, issue number 5 was the first appearance of Ghost Rider. But this one here, I did need for my collection. As you see, it is very low grade, unfortunately. He had it priced at $15, which was probably way too high. I got him down to $10 which is still probably a little high for this condition. But you know what? I was just kind of in the moment and wanted to buy a book, so I grabbed it for $10. It'll be a nice little placeholder in my collection. Marvel Spotlight number 9. Can't beat that. Also, I found this one for $5. I thought this was really cool. This is Vampirella issue number 1, and it actually has 2 signatures on it, as you see right there and right there. This is a great book. Issue number 1 from Harris Comics. I love how it had a coupon inside for a Dave Stevens poster, which is awesome. Of course, this cover is done by the great Adam Hughes, and it does have the COA as well, signed by Jim Ballin and Louis Small Jr. So very cool. It's got the COA, 2 signatures, a great book, and only $5 I think was a great deal. So I was happy about picking that one up. Now everything I got here are dollar books. Actually, these first couple were only, I don't even know, less than 25 cents a piece. So there was one seller at the show that was selling, or he had a stack of books, and they were 5 for $1. Can you believe that? 5 comics for $1, which isn't crazy. So I flipped through his books, and I found some cool stuff. How about a Spawn 14 in a newsstand? And it's fairly high grade. I mean, it's got a couple little ticks on there, but a Spawn newsstand for less than 25 cents, which is really incredible. Another Spawn newsstand, issue number 10. Another newsie there. This one's in great condition. Really cool. Can't beat that for less than a quarter. We have the first appearance of Hulk 2099 in 2099 Unlimited, issue number 1. Also a newsstand. This one's got some spine ticks on it, but for less than a quarter. This one I just grabbed because I thought it was cool. NBC Comics. Pretty interesting. Got like Michael Jordan stuff on there. Very cool. By Harvey Comics. I don't know. Something I've never seen before. There was one Amazing Spider-Man book, $3.55, so I grabbed that one. So all 5 of those books for $1. That is just insane. Now let's get to another seller that basically had like a blanket on the ground and a bunch of boxes of like junk. And then he had a couple little just like shoe boxes that had comics and magazines in them. And look what I found. These were all $1 each. Tomb of Dracula, 35. It's a little bit lower grade, but a Tomb of Dracula for $1, especially the little Brother Voodoo appearance here. I mean, that is just amazing. So we got issue 35 there. We have issue 36. Pretty cool. I mean, as you see, they're not terrible condition. They're just like a lower mid-grade, I would guess you would say. But for $1, I think that is awesome. Here's issue 39. Can't beat that, right? For just $1. And we have issue 37. So he had more than this. That's just the Tomb of Draculas I found. Also found some Bronze Age horror. We have Secrets of Haunted House 17. Crazy looking cover there. I mean, what a wild cover. And as you see, like a mid-grade copy. But once again, only $1. Sergeant Rock, $3.32. Little Joe Kubert cover. Also found a couple Charlton books here. Billy the Kid, issue 132. I absolutely love my Western books, as you probably know if you've seen any of my videos. This one's really low grade, but I thought it had a cool cover. This is Wanted Comics, issue number 2 from DC. Really cool, like Joker and Batman and Penguin. You also got Flash there and Trickster. Really cool little book. I mean, it's got a lot of water staining, but for $1, I just picked it up. We also have some more Charlton Fighting Marines, issue 159. Also, love me some war books. That was cool. Some more war stuff here. Issue 16 of Our Fighting Forces in Action. Attack. Issue 16. Cool little cover. Once again, like a little bit lower grade on that one. How about Amazing Spider-Man 294 for $1? Unfortunately, I didn't realize it, but it does have some some chew going on the spine there. So besides that, the book looks great. But for $1, I mean, that's pretty awesome. Also found a Ghost Rider issue 38. That was cool. Couldn't believe I found that one. Very awesome. Great looking cover. Actually a pretty decent condition on that one. And how about this for $1? Kazar, issue number 1. It definitely needs like a press. It's got some wrinkling to the cover there, but I'll probably just throw that in the press. It'll look great. Kazar number 1 for $1. That was really cool. Of course, I'm a big fan of like vintage toys, so I saw Air Raiders. This is issue number 1. These were like little mini action figures. I used to collect those when I was little. Definitely a cool like 80s, 90s toy. So figured I picked that one up for just $1. It's an issue number 1. This was a cool little find. This is a cameo of Hellboy. John Byrne's Next Men, issue 14. I mean, this is like a $15 book, and I got it for $1. And this one's in great condition. This one's actually high grade. Also found giant size Doc Savage, issue number 1. It's got a big color breaking crease across the cover there. But I thought it was cool. I like these giant size books. And, you know, I thought that was not a bad grab for $1. This one's low grade, but Doc Savage number 1. Lots of color breaks, you know, pretty rough condition. But a Bronze Age number 1 for just $1 I thought was very cool. Getting into some really great stuff. This one's actually not in bad condition at all. Daredevil issue 94 featuring Black Widow. Great cover. Awesome book right there for just $1. You know, there were a lot of vendors with overpriced comics at this show, but I, you know, was searching and hunting, and I found some pretty good deals, I would say. Here's Daredevil 164. I thought this was cool because this is a 12 pence variant, so that is awesome. Little UK cover there, so pretty cool cover, great book, actually pretty nice condition. So can't beat that at all. None of these books were bagged and boarded either. They were all just loose in a box, but some of them, you know, are pretty decent. Like this one looks great. Of course, I rebagged and boarded them when I got home. This was a nice little find. Daredevil 230, Born Again. Newsstand, nice condition. You know, definitely worth the $1 I paid. So that was awesome. Oh, this was an amazing find right here. How about Daredevil 66? An early Bronze Age Daredevil for just $1 with that awesome woolly mammoth and tar pit cover. I mean, how cool is that? And it's really not in terrible shape. I mean, some chipping down below there, but I mean, that is really, really excited to find that one. That was a great grab. And also found a couple Golden Age books. How about Felix the Cat? Issue 59. Some Golden Age stuff, some 10-cent covers. I mean, you know, this isn't something I particularly collect, but when I find Golden Age for $1, of course I have to pick those up. Some more Golden Age. My Little Margie, issue number 9. Very silly looking cover with like the cartoon and then her face just like planted on top of there. Really, really funny. Another little 10-cent Golden Age book right there. And one more Golden Age. We have Goober, Double Trouble with Goober, issue 516 from Dell Comics. I mean, definitely lower grade, but that's an older book right there. Happy to find that for just $1. Now, let's look at the stack of magazines that I found. So I couldn't believe all of these magazines here were only $1. This was an incredible score. First off, we have Vampirella, issue number 98. Great cover, beautiful cover. It does have a little price stamp on the front. Besides that, great condition. I mean, Vampirellas for $1. I will pick those up all day, every day. Also, Vampirella issue 93. This one's got some color breaks, a little tear on the cover, but beautiful painted cover there. Very excited about these books. I'm a huge collector of Vampirella magazines, and I'm working pretty hard on completing the run, which I'm like maybe halfway there. Here's issue number 80. Also a little chip out of there, but still really, really cool. Also, love me some old Warren horror magazines. Here's Eerie, issue 34. This one's in pretty nice condition. Crazy looking cover. 1971. How awesome is that? Really, really cool. Also found Eerie issue 44. Look at that beautiful cover. Really, really awesome. Only $1. That was a steal of a deal. Also found this crazy issue of Eerie 72. Crazy looking cover with the Hunter. Pretty awesome. Pretty nice, decent condition, especially for not being bagged and boarded and just like sitting in a box, you know? And I was flipping through these books and I'm like, I just could not believe what I was finding. I grabbed this one just because I thought it was cool. Doc Savage. This is issue number 2. The Doc Savage magazine, Man of Bronze. It's got a chip out of the corner, but, you know, crazy looking cover. I love these Curtis magazines. You know, they're, you know, with Marvel, Curtis, they put out a lot of these really cool titles. Some more Curtis is Planet of the Apes. This is issue number 2. That was a great find. Pretty nice condition. Cool cover. Definitely worth $1. And I was really excited to find some vintage heavy metal magazines. This one is from February of 1984. Really, really cool. Beautiful cover. And I couldn't believe finding some, you know, some older heavy metal magazines just for $1. This is a crazy looking one. August of 1980. Beautiful cover. This one's got some spine wear to it, but for $1, I'll take those all day long. And the last one here is from November of 1983. Beautiful cover. So some magazines for just $1. All right, so there you have it, guys. My incredible dollar haul from this outdoor collectible show. 2 different shows in one day within a 10-minute drive from each other. Lots of vendors, lots of vintage toys, collectibles, comic books, trading cards, antiques, really anything you could think of in the world of collectibles and pop culture was at these shows. And I had a blast. The weather was beautiful. Everything was perfect. I got to see some friends, meet some new people, and I just had a blast. So that'll do it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you can see when I upload my next video. And as always, I will see you on the next one.